Okay, let's see if we can get a little bit inspired. I'm gonna make the sauce, the salsa alla Norcia, pasta alla Norcia. Norcia is a city in, small town, I wouldn't call it a city, in the east of Umbria. Well, it's what, hour and a half away. It's not that far as the crow flies, but you gotta drive up in the mountains a little bit. Anyway, this sausage comes from our butcher up on the hill here. And she knows the recipe for the sausage alla Norcia. And that's what's the key thing in this sauce. So I'm going to modify it a little bit because I have this, normally you don't make it with any tomato. But I was looking at one recipe. A guy made a nice looking pasta, a fella from down in Calabria, Calabrese, my grandmother used to say. And it was, peppers, onions, and sausage, and pasta. And I thought to myself, geez, that kind of reminds me of a hot sausage sandwich. Because that Calabrian sausage is hot. This is not hot. It's so good. So let's go a little bit of pepperoncino here. I got to start using these shallots up. I got a bag of them. I think I can use a couple in here. It won't hurt. Onion, garlic, of course. So I'll start putting all this here, cutting it up, getting it in the pan, and cooking it up. Well, I can hardly look at a microwave without thinking about the fractal wood burning. It has been on my mind. Anyway, this microwave is nice. It's got a heating element in the top there. So I'm going to try to roast this pepper before it gets put in. And since I decided to use these shallots, I'm thinking I'll use half an onion with that amount of sausage. Half an onion in the garlic. Might be too much garlic too, but we'll see how it goes here. I'm going to go ahead and use it. But anyway, this is going to be different than the standard Norcia sauce. I'm going to make it sort of a creamy red sauce. And I'm just going to use one pepper. I think I might go ahead and use the whole pepper. I'm going to wait until that pepper is roasted before I make a move on this thing and get to any kind of a point of no return or commit to it. And that's the pasta I'm going to use. That's traditional with the Norcia, both the Norcia sauce and this sauce that fella from Calabria made, because sauce gets inside the pasta there nice. It's a hollow pasta I use for this. But I'm going to do something different here in the cooking. Normally people cook the garlic first and the shallots and the onion before the sausage and that sort of thing. But I'm also seeing here that it's a big no-no here to brown the garlic. And you want to get it just on this side of brown, just barely turning golden if you can. So I'm thinking by the time the sausage is cooked, the garlic should also be okay, probably the shallots as well. So I'm going to mix up my cooking order here a little bit. Actually, what I'm going to do is end up putting those ingredients all right there in the pan all at the same time and letting them all cook together. And just cook that until my onions are clear. That's going to be an indicator that the shallots and the garlic are probably done too. So this garlic's going to be little itty bitty pieces. I'm going to go ahead and run them through the press here. Can barely see them in there. Anyway, that's the theory I'm working on. Now, what I like about cooking is if you mess up, nobody's going to die. It's not like that Lichtenberg process. Still, it's fascinating. It's fascinating, and it's a weird coincidence. I happen to have all the right background and education, experience, and all that to contribute in that field. Make that process so it can be done safely. Maybe somebody will actually develop a certified safe product someday. There's no reason it can't be made as safe as a table saw. That's what I'm thinking. So, sorry to mix up my cooking narrative here with what I got in my mind from a retired engineer's perspective. I've thought about electronics all my life. I just love it, fascinated with it, and it's done well for me, and I've done well for it, and oh, no need to give up on that. Yeah, this is a fun side project. All right, that's enough. Keep an eye on these, on that pepper. For reference, I removed the sprout out of this onion, that centerpiece there. I don't know why I picked up on these Umbrians do this, and they pull out the green sprout in the middle of the garlic. Those folks have got thousands of years cooking. This kind of food comes right from where they live, and the proof is in the pudding or in whatever food they're making. So I'm not sure exactly why they remove those sprouts, but they do. So there's other things to worry about, so I'm not going to think about. So I'm just going to go with the flow and do it the way the Umbrians do it, and benefit from their experience. Okay, so I went ahead and, as I was dicing up the onions, I went ahead and sliced up the shallots, and went ahead and, instead of crushing the garlic with the garlic press, since it's such a pain to wash, I went ahead and just sliced it up. The shallots, the only reason the shallots are in here, and we're even trying them in here, is because I got a bag of them here, and I don't want them to go bad or start sprouting on me, so I figure I better start using them. And I'm thinking here too, instead of using the pepperoncino, the ground flakes with the seeds in, I'm going to do this a little bit more correctly by using a couple of these little peppers. And they're hot, but let's see, it looks about right. 1 pepper per sausage. All that onion, and I got my sweet pepper here still coming along in under the roasting element there. So that's going to take some time. Gives me plenty of time to get all this worked up. But anyway, what I want to do on those peppers, my God, is to you see how this has seeds in it? Okay, the seeds and the placenta of the pepper are the part that have the heat. The heat's fine, a little heat's fine, but it covers up the flavor of the pepper itself. Now, I'm privileged enough to have known at one point some pepper heads from Penn State that were the crew that developed the sweet habanero, which is an ungodly good pepper, the habanero. It's just a shame it had so much heat that you couldn't really use a lot of it. But I've got to get my hands on that sweet habanero again, because that's a fantastic pepper, and I think my friends up here on the hill would love it. I'm going to say too, by the way, while I'm at it here, sorry, I like to talk. I think it's good for your mind to speak in a sort of a stream of consciousness kind of a way, and then to, it's my compost, and then to come back to whatever it was that your topic was. So I'm trying to train myself to, I don't know if maybe I am trained, to go off on some kind of a crazy tangent and then come back to the point. As I know it's very difficult for people that, you know, are listening to me speaking. Let's put these away. But, oh, you gotta take as my grandmother would say, you gotta take the shit with the butter. Anyway, coming back to where we're at here, this is going to take a while. We've got our heating element up there. I've never tried to roast in this before, but if I can roast a pepper in this microwave, okay? It's, what is it here? It's a Samsung or what? Oh yeah, it's a Samsung. If I can roast this pepper in this microwave, that's a major coup. That is a major coup, because there's few things that rival a roasted pepper. Anyway, let's get back over here. So once we get things cooking up here, and it's all going to go at the pan at the same time. It's an experiment. It might not be, there might be issues with it, but we're going to see. My gut feeling here is by the time that sausage is cooked and has released its, oh, by the way, it's coming out of its casing. That's the way you buy it, in a casing. We're going to squeeze it out of the casing, get back to loose sausage, And what I'm hoping is that by the time that sausage is cooked in the pan here, I'm going to cook it here in my favorite pan right now. This nice rounded pan here. It's not as big as I want, but it's big, and it's a good size for a lot of things. You can flip things in there easy and keep it nice and keep things moving in there. Moving. Anyway, I think there, though, by the time there's the sausage is cooking up nicely, it seems to me to be about the right time that the garlic and the onions and the shallots should also be cooked. Now keep in mind here, as I'm narrating this to you, I'm also looking at everything like, does that make sense? Really? How long is that going to take? See, I'm not a cook. And like a lot of YouTubers, I don't pretend to be something I'm not. I'm just going with the flow here, doing my best. Not worrying about likes and views and all that crap. It's like a new industry. Lying about yourself on YouTube so you can get likes. Yeah. That's the days we live in. All right, enough for now. I'm going to get back to doing something a little bit different while this pepper roasts here. Hopefully it roasts. Okay. And here's why I wanted to get fresh peppers for this instead of the pepperoncini, because you can separate the seeds. These little red bits in the seeds here are what's called the placenta, and I assume it's equivalent to human placenta to hold the seeds or something. I don't know, but those are the pieces that hold the capsaicin. But I can attest, as I was scraping out seeds from these peppers, you just cut off the head, chop them, split them in half, and then put your finger on the bottom and scrape everything out of them, and you release the seeds and the placenta. But I can tell you, one of these broke off here. Where is it? Where is he? Yeah. Oh, see this one here? See, it broke off when I scraped out the seeds. So I thought, okay, that's a little test piece to taste. They have got some heat. They've got some heat even after removing the seeds and placentas. The pepper body itself here, it's not habanero or Carolina Reaper or ghost pepper level, but it's respectable. It's a little bit more than a cayenne. Yeah, I'm going to chop those up nice and fine. And what that's going to do for this dish, I believe, is to substitute, from the Calabrese fellow who made the hot sausage version of this. Remember, I'm fusing together two dishes here. One's from Eastern Eastern Umbria. One's from Calabria. So it's going to end up, I don't know how it's going to end up. Who knows? We've got lots of onion here. Going to have lots of sweet pepper there, because I'm going to use that whole pepper. Once it's roasted nicely, I'm going to use that whole pepper. And we're going to use these little hot ones, and that sausage, and this pasta. And then the sauce is going to be ortolina. I'm trying different local sauces here. This one's highly recommended to me, but my God, they're all good. Oh, they're so much different. They're just pure tomato. No spices, no flavorings, a little bit of salt, no preservatives. Tomato, a little salt, that's all that's in that jar. You could dilute that, and I have done this. You can dilute that and drink it like tomato juice, and it's delicious. But anyway, a little bit of panna fresca. Panna fresca is kind of the Italian version of sour cream. And those two, once everything else is all cooked up and so forth, then it cooks a little while with the tomatoes to get friendly with everything else. So stir in some panna fresco, and that's going to make a light red, like a cream of tomato sort of a sauce. Not Campbell's style. Not putting it down. I've eaten a lot of Campbell's soup in my life, but now I'm retired, so I'm going for the good stuff. Okay, that's enough for now. Let's just let our pepper continue to do its thing here. I'm watching this. I'm hoping here at some point we start to see that skin blacken up. I'm concerned that the rotary table is heating it way too evenly, and we do need some localized hot spots. But I really don't want to fire up the oven just to roast a single pepper. So let's give this whatever time is required until it smells right and feels right. It's soft, and hopefully the skin will get black, because part of the idea here is to peel the skin off. So, yep. Okay, so there's my pepper, and I feel pretty good about that because even though it is a little bit hot, you know, the milk will tone it down a little bit. So that's going in here, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm using my phone here and scrape it off and throw it down in there. Come on, get in there, get in there, get in there. Last little piece of pepper sticking to it. So when the time comes, this is putting it all in the line here. Got a little bit of olive oil in the bottom there. Some very good extra virgin olive oil here from a friend. His name's Carlo. Looks like it's getting a little bit low there. I'll have to refill this bottle. But yeah, I'm just thinking about it here. Am I doing anything drastically wrong? I don't think so. I think it's going to come out just fine. As soon as this pepper is starting to look like it's getting somewhere, then we'll go ahead and fire up the flame. But I do swear, by God in heaven almighty, I'm going to have an outdoor cooking method, because a lot of these really great dishes, they splatter like crazy. And this look at this messy cooktop here. And by the way, Whirlpool here in Italy is not too bad. Look at that. Can't have that. So anyway, I think this cooktop's going to end up being replaced with an induction unit or something like that. We'll take the gas outside to a gas grill, or we could do all this kind of cooking outside where the splatter doesn't matter so much. And okay, I'm going to commit to this. This sausage is going in that pan. I'm going to start this all from room temperature, bring it all up together and cook it. And I'm hoping that as the sausage cooks, that everything else is going to cook at the right rate and nothing to be burned. The cooking times here are something that, you know, this is probably well published, this sort of thing. But I'm not a cook, okay? I'm an engineer. I know about material science and physics and math and all that stuff, and chemistry and all that stuff that goes into electrical engineering. All the different things that affect how electrons behave. But the cooking times for this sausage relative to the other ingredients I've got in my pan, I do not know. I should probably Google that stuff. I'm sure it's published out there somewhere. Okay. Well, let me get this last one out here. I need 2 hands. How's our pepper doing? I see a little bit of change in the surface texture there. It's getting wrinkly, which I think is good. I'm hoping that means that the skin is releasing from the pepper underneath. Even though it's not getting black, this might be a good thing. I don't know. Okay, so this pepper is starting to smell very good. And even though we're not getting the black char marks like we would get on a grill or under a very, very close to a broiler, you have some distance here to the broiler, I think it's time to stop this and find out what we got here. It just smells so good, and it's all soft and nice, and I do think I'll just run this under cool water for a second and try to get that skin peeled off there. See how that goes. Okay, so this pepper is, it smells and feels done. I don't think the heat was hot enough. I'm not so sure that I tried to peel it. It's not going to peel like a correctly roasted pepper is going to peel. But I'm going to slice it and try to pull out the seeds and the placenta and the pepper meat and see how that goes to salvage this. And then someday I'll figure out how to roast a pepper a little bit more efficiently than, in the oven. And then we start to go. Okay, so the pepper's cooked, it's hot. I sliced it open. So I'm going to take out the seeds and the placentas carefully. Then I'm going to try my best to separate the flesh of the pepper from the skin. Now remember, I'm fixing this because this is not a good way to do this. That's the pasta I'm going to use. But it is getting close to time to start the water boiling. Oh. Okay, very good. So the seeds and the placenta came out just fine. A little bit of light scraping here, but I don't think that the flesh is going to separate from the skin here. Well, maybe it will. Look at that. Interesting. Because I'd like to get off this hard exterior coating. So maybe I'll turn it over. Oh, look at that. It's coming off. Ooh, we may be onto something here. You have to experiment. Everything has not yet been tried. So, that's good. Okay, I need 2 hands to do this. Let me get back to you. Okay, success. The pepper skinned okay. It was a very delicate little operation. I don't know if there are easier ways that these skins come off better. But this is the pure pepper flesh roasted. So that will go in the pan later. But that's my indication that we can fire up this alternate experiment. And I understand and respect the importance of tradition, but I also understand that sometimes you have to experiment to push the boundaries. That's been my job, is to sort of walk the middle line between those two things. So I've got my sausage here out of the skin, and that pepper's over there waiting behind me. So this, so this is going to be. It's very difficult to film this with one hand. I've got to get some kind of a different camera arrangement. This is going to be, as it described, a combination of Norcia and a calabrian sauce, but certainly with some modifications in the way things are being assembled here, and with a couple of experiments. And I'll try to, I don't know, I invited some friends down. I just got on WhatsApp and said, hey, who's hungry, come on down. And I hope some folks show up so we get a, a nice objective sample of what's going on here. But, a good evaluation. Because I'm telling you, Umbrians know good food, period. Simple like that. So I'm going to keep stirring this and give them another call. And, oh, the heck, I'm going to keep stirring it. That's why I got this pan, because you can go like this and keep flipping it and mix things together. Yeah, that's all going to cook together. The hot peppers, slightly hotter than cayenne, onions, shallots, garlic, sausage. Just going to let it all cook together from a fresh flame. That's an experiment. The other experiment was these peppers, and this worked out okay. So if I can get 2 experiments to work out in one dinner, that's pretty good. So just take your time, water, boil, because this has got to be just right. Okay, a little preemptive strike here. I'm going to put a little bit of oil in there just to help with the heat transfer up to the onions, shallots, and garlic there, because I'm not so certain that the pork is going to release its fat in time. I don't want to get the pork overcooked, but I want to make sure that I get the peppers and the onions and the shallot and the garlic all nicely cooked in this oil, in the oils. The oils partially from the sausage and partially from the oil. It's like one of those situations. I don't know what's going to happen here. I think it's going to be good. Whatever it is, I'm going to eat it. That's going to be dinner for me. But you know, let's just break up that sausage a little bit more here. I think that can't hurt to get that all bust it up into smaller pieces. So I think we'll let it just incorporate down to the size of the onions and so forth in here, of the onion family that I've got in here, which might let it get its fats released. And I think that's what's good about this, is possibly the ability to cook these onions in these particular fats. When I say onions in this dish, I mean onions. I mean shallots, garlic, and a little bit of hot pepper in there. You can see these little red things floating around in here. So far, so good. I mean, all my onion family is kind of sizzling along. It's not burning. I hope this works out. and gets cooked about the same time as the sausage, which I'm turning back into loose sausage. As you saw before, these sausages were sausages. They were little sausages in casing. It's just the way you have to buy it here. You have to get the sausages and squeeze the meat back out of them. But it's a small local butcher shop. The butcher up there knows some doggone good recipes. Sausage, if you want to make an awesome hamburger, Italy, like it's done for thousands of years, has taken it to the next level. They've taken our hamburger. You know, I'm an American here. I'm an American here in Umbria. But I gotta say, the Italians have taken our hamburger to the next level, because you can get them with beef. You can get a pork hamburger. You can get a beef pork hamburger. You get a turkey hamburger. You get a turkey beef pork hamburger if you want to. These local butchers will grind the meat the way you want and then press it in a little patty making machine, and you've got some pretty good hamburgers. You know, now the thing is, you have to spice them up yourself. But whatever. Let's have the fun of it. Let's have the fun of it. So, okay, yeah, look here. Okay, the onions and the garlic are getting clear, and the shallots, that's all getting nice and clear. Okay. And I've still got some uncooked meat here, which is good, because I still think this needs a little bit more time. I don't want to get, you know, the onion family too far beyond the meat. And my feeling here is, based on how the meat's cooking, it takes more time. I think the meat should go in first. You know, maybe leave the fats in the pan, then cook the onion family in those fats. But we might get lucky here, and all this will come out at the same time. Pretty good. So that's I think I got chopped up fairly well here for the sauce. I just don't want to burn the onions and the garlic. Peppers look like they're cooking okay. Shallots look like they're. Yeah, look at things like this little guy here. Okay, that's a little piece of shallot there. Looks like it's cooked okay. Yep, and these are slices of shallots here. Which look like they're okay. Onions clearing. So, oh, it's a race against time. The drama of the situation. If this sausage gets cooked before everything, you know, at the same time as everything else. And I think, just looking at how this is doing right now, I think we're in good shape. So, let's just let that cook a little bit. And check our pasta water. Let's turn up the heat here a little bit. Because this is at the point where I'm going to have to turn off the fire here in a little bit. Cook the pasta. Well, no. There's one more step here that's got to be done. Remember, this is going to be my little contribution to this sauce is going to be to make it a tomato cream sauce. So all these flavors are sitting around in a tomato cream kind of a thing. So I'm trying to get this so that this comes out exactly at the same time the pasta is ready. Now that's an idealistic view of things. It's not going to come out that well, that exact, but if I have to turn this off, that's fine. But in just a second here on this side, you know, on that side, we're waiting for a good rolling boil to put the pasta in. On this side, we're going to very soon be putting in some tomato sauce. It's beautiful tomato sauce. Let it cook a while. When it gets nice and hot and bubbly, we'll put in some panna fresca, which is a heavy cream, to make a nice creamy mess out of all this. Creamy tomatoey mess out of all this, which I think is going to be pretty good. Yeah, sometimes when you're cooking, you know, it's coming together. This is going to be good. Okay, take your time, pasta. Put all the time in the world. Okay, well, the pork is sizzling away over here, and we're waiting for the pasta water to boil. This experiment worked out very well. So I'm going to slice these lengthwise and cut them up into little pieces, and they're just going to go in with the pork and onion family mixture. And that will be the foundation for this pasta, which I think I'm going to call, I don't know, I'm thinking hot sausage sandwich pasta, something like that. It is everything that's involved with a hot sausage sandwich to like way the next level, which is so typical of this part of Italy. They just do things well. Okay, I noticed a few little bits here getting a little bit too brown, and that's not recommended practice from what I understand. Look at that little piece right there. It's a little bit too brown. This piece here. Look at him. What is that? It's a piece of shallot, or is that a piece of garlic, or what? I don't know. Anyway, it's looking very, very good. It smells fantastic. So I think, so I've turned off the flame of that. Let's go sit it a minute. Meanwhile, I've sliced these peppers this way, and, oh, how fine should we dice those up? I don't know. This one's inside is up, the inside of the pepper is up. This one, the outside of the pepper is up. And there's no skin on these, no seeds, no placenta. And they're roasted. And it's a wonderful, beautiful pepper. Oh, this is going to be good. I'm not sure I got that in the video. Now, the peppers are sticking to my cutting board, which is fine. But it makes me wonder how many of the juices of the peppers. Let's do it this way. Oh, this is so crude. I think it's going to work. Be careful. Oh, very good. One little piece there. But I do think that there's a lot of flavor on this cutting board still, which bothers me. I'm thinking Would it be weird to pour some wine over this cutting board and try to rinse those flavors in? Maybe we have enough. There's such a thing as too much. It's, you know, too much. So here, we're still waiting for the pasta water to boil. And over here, the sausage is cooked. The garlic and the onion and the shallots all appear to be in prime condition. So, this is gonna be good. It's time to start the fire again while we wait for our water to boil. Put in a little bit of tomato and the pane fresca to make this into the kind of sauce that I've got in my imagination here, which is, I don't know what to call it. We just call it sort of, I don't know what to call it. I'm at a loss. What happens? Okay, we've reignited the burner here, and we're going to put in this ortolina sauce. I don't know how much to put in here. I'm just going to eyeball this. That seems like enough. Okay. Okay, let's cook that down a little bit. Let the flavors mix up a little bit. And when things are bubbling along here again, you know, boiling along here again, stir in the pane fresca. Make this into a cream sauce. And then the pasta is going to go in here. And I'm sorry you can't smell this, but I can. And I think my buddy's going to like this. And if you can impress Umbrians with something you've cooked, you've done a good job. You've done your research. You've paid attention to details. And just judging on the way this is smelling and coming together here, I think it's going to be okay. I'll reserve judgment to the end. And now I'm a little bit optimistic, which is kind of stupid. But you see, we're starting to bubble here. We're starting to boil here. So that's good. We're heating up the tomato sauce, allowing the tomato flavors to mix with the peppers and the sausage and all the onion flavors that are already in the oil. You know, chemistry is important in cooking. Diffusion of flavors and solubility in either water or oil are very important parameters. And, you know, that's kind of the way I cook. It's just try to think these things through as best I can. It's probably not a good idea to be flipping this now, but it doesn't hurt. But yeah, when this is, the whole thing's bubbling. It's a hot, bubbling, boiling mess, as they say, a big hot mess, right? Then in goes the pane fresca. And I'm not going to be able to show you that on the camera here because I'm going to have two hands free so that this whole thing can be stirred nicely. And we can get that nice creamy sauce. The only reason I'm looking for that creamy sauce thing is because I like the taste of peppers, but, you know, some of them are just too hot, and I just don't give a damn about being macho and tolerating that kind of thing. There's other pains that you have to tolerate, like going out looking for problems. But my God, oh, that smells so good. That's a sauce. We're starting to boil here a little bit. Come on here, come on here, come on there. I'm gonna have to put a lid on that to get the boil a little bit better. Then our pasta goes in. This is one of the many good, many pastas on the shelf here. Di quecco, I don't know how to pronounce that. But they've been making it since 1831, so I figured it's probably pretty good. And I've had different ones. You know, here's the spaghetti. I've had this a couple of times. It was good. I mean, you know, it's pretty good. So I think here, what are you saying here? It's ready in 9 minutes. think that's what this little thing here is telling me. I'm thinking for that amount of sauce, I'm going to cook the whole thing. Cook the whole thing. And if it's not enough sauce for the amount of pasta, 500 grams is a lot of pasta. That's enough to feed, I don't know, 5, 6 people. It'll make a lot. But it's so doggone good. I think, you know, if the ratio is wrong, if I got that wrong, there's all kinds of things you can do to increase the amount of sauce, you know, without diluting this down too much. Okay, I should probably have a whole lot more water here boiling for 500 grams of pasta. 500 grams is a lot. That's a pound of pasta there. And see how that killed off the boiling action so fast? Because there's a lot of mass. And it was at room temperature, which is just... But I think that we have enough mass in the water here, and you know, you can see this yourself. Practical experience shows it out, that this is going to get boiling here right quickly. And here, okay, we've got going our salsicha and our various onion groups, and the pepper, the roasted pepper. Oh my God, that does look good. Oh. Sometimes you get lucky. Now, I think it's probably enough. No, this could use more. It won't hurt to put in a little bit more. I'm just going to use this up because I don't want this to sit in the refrigerator too long. And what I should do here is put a little water in here, just a little bit. Ready? Yep, up. That's all. Doesn't take much. Let the water boil away here. And it cleans up the jar a little bit here. Just get your money's worth out of it. I should actually put some wine in there and shake it up a little bit, because that's a really good way to clean out the jar and add some other flavors to it. But we're good here. So this is an interesting thermodynamic situation here. Notice we've got oil boiling at the perimeter, but in the middle here, it's not really quite boiling. Oh, there it's starting a little bit. But that's a sign here we have a temperature gradient across the top of this. Yeah, which is not a bad thing, it's not a good thing, it's just the way it is. So yeah, that's, okay. Let's just let this sit here and cook quietly until our pasta's ready. I'm going to turn down the heat a little bit. Just a little bit, no, not just super low. I do want to keep it boiling there to keep that water cooking out of it. And the problem that I'm going to have here is this technique I'm going to try. This is actually his third one. It's not an experiment. But what they do here is put the pasta directly into this pan to finish things up. That's good sauce. I just licked that off. Never fear, it's going into a boiling water, so nobody's going to get sick from this pasta. I should have set a timer. I didn't on this pasta, so I'm going to just have to check it the old-fashioned way. What do we see here, 9 minutes? How long have I been messing with that? I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes. And just judging by the way the pasta passes through what I'm using to stir it with, you can feel it's a little bit hard. So it's got a ways to go. You know, it sort of crashes against, as you stir this back and forth, the pasta sort of crashes against the stirring utensil, and you can feel it if you're careful, if you try to pay attention to what your fingers are telling you there. Okay, while we're waiting for our pasta to boil here, or to cook, And our sauce is just coming along very, very nicely there. I cleaned out the remainder of the bottle by putting a little bit of water in it and making, as I said, tomato juice. It's fine. It's really good. It's good. I love tomato juice. So, whatever. Not everybody does. That's fine. That's the type of difference of opinion which a civilized society can tolerate and still survive. Oh, what is that long piece in there? What is that piece there? There's a long piece of onion that got in there. I don't really need to stir this much. I can do it like this. No need to flip it. But the pasta here, gonna keep it a little bit of an eye on. Yeah, that's definitely not even anywhere near al dente. And I can tell by the way the pasta, when you stir it here with the spatula, I can tell by the way the pasta clinks against the spatula. And let's just see if my measuring method is okay. Yep, it's good. No, I mean my measuring method's good. It's nowhere near cooked. Nowhere near cooked. So that's going to take another probably 5-10 minutes because they lie. These times are sometimes al dente time. This pennette rigate number 241. Oh, cottura, 10 minutes, al dente 8 minutes. I don't believe that at all. That's the cooking time. I'm going to have to look up cottura. But from my experience, the way I like pasta, what they call al dente here, I don't like it quite as they call al dente here. I like it cooked a little bit more. So, no big deal. Yeah, that's right. Okay, pretty soon here, when this pasta is almost cooked, I'm going to stir in the panna fresca to give this a creamy sort of a look and feeling. And also we've got a strategy here to, you know, if those peppers were a little bit too hot, trying to get some cheese and cream into this in order to sort of neutralize that. I think all the other flavors will come through the cream okay, so I don't think it's going to be detrimental to the sauce. And what else here? No. It's marvelous. The smell is marvelous. You could smell the peppers and, you know, the whole onion family going on in there. And I think for this amount of sauce, I probably should have used twice as much sausage. Possibly. But I don't think it's going to be bad at all. We'll find out. Let's go back here and check on our... It is good. Notice that's clean? Did you notice just a second ago how much I was stirring this? You know what happened to that sauce that was on here? I tasted it. I can tell you it's good. It does have a little bit of heat, which is not, but just not too much. So, yeah, you see the pasta starting to swell up here a little bit, which means it's absorbing water. But it still doesn't look quite you know, quite where it should be, but let's taste it. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're going to wait till this is totally done before we put in the panna fresca. Okay, I'm going to pause for now. Okay, we're getting very close here. The pasta it kind of slides off the spoon. It's hard to pick it out of the pot. That's what I call it, al dente. I should have timed this. Anyway, we'll turn off the heat here, which is not going to reduce the temperature in the water one iota. But I have to get this going, and I'm going to put in the panna fresca quickly here, drain that into my colander, and we'll see you in a minute. Okay, I don't think I'm going to need any of this, but I want to pour off a little bit of the pasta water into this this little bowl, just in case I need it to change the sauce a little bit. I'm reaching here far too far, but there's the thing here, emulsifying oils, and this has got the tomato in it, so I don't think that's in play. I'm going to save a little bit of water, pasta water, here just in case. Okay. It's coming together here. So here, I've got my pasta. It's drained. I've got a little pasta water in case I need it. Here, my pasta looks, it's nice. It's very nice. And at this point, okay, it's going to be very difficult to do this and show you. But I'm going to get ready to stir in, you know, the panna fresca. And I'll just use the same instrument I've been using to stir that in with. But yeah, we're boiling again. It was hot. It didn't take long to get into a boil. There's my panna fresca. Looks like about enough. And that's going to make this sauce look pinkish, kind of pinkish, which is fine. And let that cook a little bit. Probably use just a little bit too much, but didn't overshoot by too much. But I do think that there is compatibility is not the right word. It's not a bad word, but an affinity, that's a better word, between the milk and the oils, the olive oils, and the fat, fats and oil. And this is there. That's the way it looks. That's the way it looks. Okay, so this is. Oh, look, the peppers in there and the meat, little chunks. It's good. So I wanted to get this sauce to the point where it had a fair amount of sauce. There's a lot of sauce in there. Look at that. So to put 500 grams of pasta into that sauce in just a minute is going to be good. But now it needs to sit there and start to bubble. Okay, I got some bubbling going on here. What's good? You get that milk. Give that milk a little bit of time. Panna fresca. It's not milk exactly. It's heavy cream. Just give that a little bit of time to get happy. Some of the flavors in there. Do I see a little piece of pepper there? Oh yeah, I do see a little pepper skin over there. Let's get that out of there. How'd you get through my process there, you little stinker? Look at you. I'll clean you up later. In the meantime, just keeping an eye on this. I'm just trying to develop that Umbrian love for the food. I do have it. I've got it. I understand it. It's a wonderful thing. It brings people together. So here we go. We're bubbling along a little bit. So now it's time to put in the pasta. Easy, come on, slow, easy there, easy pasta, easy pasta, easy pasta. Let's put in about half. Make sure we got enough room in the pan here. I think we do. Okay. Okay. It's good. It's a lot of sauce. Now, at this point, everything is cooked. It's totally done. I should have put more sausage in here, but I think 500 grams and everything I started out with here is a good amount. I need to just let this cook, let the sauce mix in with the pasta, and just keep it from burning. But I do have a skillet full of pasta here. So, excuse me for a second. I'm going to go and check on WhatsApp and see if I've got anybody coming down here to dinner. I did invite some folks. I wish I could send them this video along with the invitation, because it would be, I'm pretty sure they would be here. But they're not totally convinced of my skill. Not that I have that much skill, but I could do some things. And we'll just let this all heat up. Let the pasta, let the sauce soak into the pasta a little bit, and we go from there. Okay, this is ready. This is ready, and it's good. I've tasted it. And now I'm thinking about torturing it a little bit. And this is this is interesting to flip a lot of pasta and sauce in a pan like this. It takes a little bit of strength. But anyway, torturing it may be meaning to fry it a little bit. No. I'm just gonna eat. It's good. It's very good. Okay, there it is. And the only thing that's missing from a nice hot pasta, coming right off the stove, is a little bit of cheese. So let's get a little bit of Parmesan cheese here. Not too much. That's enough, I think. But look at this. Look at all this pasta. Oh. You know it's better the second day, right? We could talk about that. It is. It's probably a valid chemical foundation for why it is, especially if the tomato sauce is involved. But this is not the time. I'm hungry. That looks good. Okay. It's nice to, when you push the limits, take some risks. When something gets knocked out of the park, and this is a good pasta, it's a combination of an Umbrian recipe. If you go back, you look at the sausage, and a calabrian recipe. Calabria is the very toe of Italy. Oh my God, this is good. But they do have some good recipes down there. My grandmother was from the north, and Piedmont area. It's a totally different style of cooking than the south. Italy is, it's a long boot. It's like the United States. Whatever passes for northern cooking, I don't understand. I don't even know if there is such a thing as northern cooking. Maybe some kind of bean soup. I don't know. But southern cooking is very rich in the United States. And it's also comes from a stress. This is good. So maybe that's why the Calabrians have something going. But unlike the United States, I think the northerners in Italy have something totally else going on. I can't get into it here, but just based on panicada, the way polenta is made, some things like that. They've got something else going on there up in the north. But in here in Umbria, it's a completely completely different situation. It's not the north, it's not the south. It's like, you know, the isolation here, the peace and quiet, you know, the ability for people to be good neighbors and be nice and understand good food. It's incredible here. It really is. So anyway, I need to think of some point to conclude upon. This pasta, as I've described previously in the video, is a combination of two traditional specific recipes. But to me, somehow, it seemed like, a hot pepper, you know, hot sausage and pepper, and onion sandwich. It's all coming through here. It's good. I mean, you could taste the peppers. Very nice. You know, the onion flavors are in there, but the onion and the scallions and the garlic, it's all just coming together very well. So I'm going to say this is one of the best things I've cooked. I didn't know how to cook a year ago. I thought I did, but I didn't. But if you pay attention, you know, just pay attention, taste, listen. Don't let your ego get in the way of things. All right, I'm going to finish my dinner. Bon appetit. Make this. It's good. Just make some comments. Ask questions. If you have any questions about it, feel free to do that. But enjoy. Okay, one last thing I wanted to say was this relationship between the hot peppers and the cream. It's good. It's good. There's a lot of flavor in here. Too much, in a way, that I can't really pick out the hot pepper specifically. It warms you up in a nice way, but I think the cream is moderating that heat a little bit, so the pepper flavor can come through. But the roasted peppers definitely come through. So, it is what it is. It's good. Again, bon appetit. Yeah, this is one of those dishes where the last bite is a very sad thing. It's very good. So, I don't know, I guess, what's the takeaway point here? There are fundamentals in the cooking. And I'm new to cooking. I'm not a cook. I'm an engineer. But there are some fundamentals here to be respected and understood as tools to make some very, very tasty dinners.